Another gorgeous day at the castle. It's a lovely Saturday. Hopefully the wife and kids will be showing up here shortly to pitch in, give a hand, maybe have a fire. But as you guys have seen me go throughout this process of the castle, you can tell, hopefully you can tell, I'm trying to save as much original as I can, but certain things you just have to cover up. However, I have an item in the kitchen that I really want to salvage and just make it the right thing. Let's go check it out. So I've got this here thing. I call it an island. Some people call it a bar top. Call it what you want. I don't care what you call it. I like it. It's old. It's patinaed. It's got some brass on it. I could probably polish up pretty well. Yeah, it's got a few bad spots here and there, but I just think this thing is so fitting to the castle. And honestly, I think the hardest part is going to be the daggone upholstery. And maybe I'll just leave it. So I don't know if somebody decided to stab it a few times. This was here whenever I acquired the castle, and it looked like this when I acquired it. Have we stacked things on it? Yes. Have we caused that damage? No. Got a little spot, it's got a little hole in it, got a seam coming apart. I feel like I could sew that up, honestly. That would suck. But it's got the knights on it. It's got some rock on it. The top is rock inlaid, or I shouldn't be calling it rock, I should be calling it granite, inlaid in a wood trim. And it has storage on the backside. Which right now it's, you know, all these things came with it, but I just feel like, daggone, you gotta do something. And I've got this interesting trap door. I think I'm gonna get rid of that. But then you come down here and it's like, dang, the storage just continues. Hey, I found all the cleaners that I didn't know where they were, because let's be honest, this thing was stacked up against the wall for a long time. So, I gotta do it. I know I'm gonna change it. I know I'm gonna take some of the cool features away, right? Wine rack, small storage, 2 drawers. So here's my thoughts. Open up trap door for you here. Put you guys on my camera stand, which is the old popcorn sign that everybody used to make comments of. You can see my black sink sitting over here. So I put this island over here after I put the cabinets in, and I'm like, man, I really like that there. Hey, it's more countertop space. We honestly don't have a lot, but we've got enough. But this would give more countertop space, and I don't know how you guys turn your sinks in your houses, but my sink does look outside. It looks through a window in the ICF wall. So you can look outside, but I always catch myself doing dishes and turning it around, completely around, so I can see the TV kind of thing. Well, the TV is going to be over there. And I don't know about you guys, but for some reason, I know it's sun shining through it right now, but I just really love that view right there. And if I put a sink right here, extra countertop space, center it up because the range is going in between the cabinets. I mean, that's pretty obvious. And you can stand here and see the TV or the river or both. Just pan back and forth while you're doing your dishes. I got to put a sink in this thing. So I put this door down, and I started pulling some measurements. You know, okay, 30, whatever. And I've always thought those sinks you see on TikTok or whatever were pretty cool, because they got the waterfall and they got the little cut cleaner, yada yada, with all that stuff, right? So I bought one. I can just see this sink looking really awesome. I know it might be a little higher than your normal sink, but man, I really see this being pretty awesome for a sink. So what I've done is I've taken some 1-bys and I've made a box. I've never used a Kreg joiner before. You guys can see the Kreg joiner sitting right over here on top of the cabinet. So I've made a box that is the outer extremities of that sink. I'm gonna fasten it together because realistically a countertop, you know, would be outside of this box up to the edges of this box, and you're just setting a sink in a hole anyway. So if I can create a hole for a sink and mount it to this island, I'm thinking that's going to be a home run. So we're going to put this box together. Again, I've never used a Kreg joiner, so what I'm going to do first because sometimes I just go for it too much, I'm gonna drill me a test piece, because those 4 pieces of wood are cut within a 32nd of the same length of being the same length of each other. So I really don't want to test it and screw it up on the boards I'm going to use. So I'm going to drill a test board. I just bought this kit. This was the kit. And guys, I'm not sponsored by Kreg Joint or anything. I just telling you what I'm using. So I got the pocket hole jig 720. Uh-oh, looks like I ripped it on you guys. Where's the other side? Sorry. I didn't think I ripped it up. Oh yeah, just dump trash everywhere, Matt. Well, it's 720p something. Does it say it anywhere else? No, of course not. This says in Spanish and another language. There you go. Maybe you guys can read that. I can't. Well, that's gonna bug me to death. Oh, 720 Pro. See the RO? See the P720 Pro. That's the kit I bought. Here's everything it came with. I've already got it didn't come with this piece of wood. I clamped that in there. But it came with this clamp system. It's got 2 little legs that fold out. You guys haven't read the instructions or anything. You know, going for it. So it's got these 2 little wings that flip out. It comes with this case, which has got some stuff in it. Another clamp. A couple of slide mechanism things to keep your boards nice and square. Yeah, I'm probably not going to use that. But somehow this thing goes in here in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. I'll do that off camera and figure that out. But we're gonna use and it came with 2 boxes of screws. We're gonna see how this works. So let me run some trials without you guys watching, because I'm probably gonna have a pretty steep learning curve here. And I'll show you how I do it on the actual boards. See how this goes. All right, I ran my trial piece. You guys can see it is aligned right on the edge. There's the pocket screw down in there. So now what I did was come over here and go, okay, this being my outside board setting off the end of this board, if I just stand that up in there, put me a mark, that's where my Kreg joints need to go. So gotta rotate this one around the right way. Probably had it that way 14 times. There you go again. This being the outside board, that being the outside. Got me a line right there. That's from previous work. This is scrap pieces. And then here, as I'll show you what's wrong, right? This is not the outside piece, so that's not the right way to do it. So we gotta flip it around, which would mean this is my inside board. You can see they're exact same position. Put your mark there, same thing on this side. Now, what I'm trying to determine is, do I want to screw the box together and then mount here, knowing that this is already here, so I'm not going to be able to get a screw, if you will, in there. And if I pocket screw it, it really should be mounted to this face. When I'm mounting to this side, this is the side that's going to touch that framing there. So I really need straight in screws, I believe. So I think I'm going to take the Kreg Joiner drill bit, and I'll show you guys how all this works, because it is like super simple. Even I can do it. But I think I'm going to take this Kreg Joiner drill bit, and I'm going to counter bore 3 screws here, here, and here. Mount that board, make sure we're level, make sure we're the distance down from the, well, I want this sink to ride right under that ledge type of thing. And then I will be able to pocket screw the 2 side boards to my front board, which goes here. And these pocket screws will allow me to screw that C shape into the piece that's mounted to the thing. I think it's kind of what I'm gonna do. We're gonna see if it works. So essentially this sink mounts inside of each drawer. I think I showed you guys that earlier to make sure that the drawers will still work. So let me get some holes drilled and I'll show you the first board I'm gonna mount. All right, so you guys can see our first board there. It's not screwed tight yet because I kind of wanted to show you what I did. I'm kind of learning as I go. But this Kreg Joiner comes with a drill bit that has this collar with a set screw. and a hole in it. I'll explain the hole here in a minute. So what I did was I set this collar to the depth of the thickness of my board, which is 3/4 of an inch. So once I hit my collar, I am ever so slightly off the back side. I then took, well, actually, let me digress. I then took my mechanical pencil, because the screw hole is the same size as my graphite, and I held my board where I wanted it, which is an 1/8 inch below this lip, so the sink will tuck up in there. Stuck my graphite through, and I marked all 6 of my holes. The reason I did that is I wanted to pre-drill those holes. I don't know what this is made out of. It's old, so I'm assuming it's good. However, I pre-drilled this face before I put these screws in to make sure that this backside didn't bust out. And I'm pretty confident that 6 screws in this board is going to hold the weight of the sink. And if I get the sink in there and I feel like it's maybe needing a little more, I have another 3/4 inch thickness all the way across, and I can come back in here and drill those same holes, and I could put several screws in this top edge, and that would make it held here, here, and here. But I'm pretty confident these 6 screws are going to work. So I'm going to tighten those screws down, and then I will show you guys the Kreg joiner process. And the main thing I've got to make sure I don't do during my Kreg joint process, and as long as I don't put my Kreg joint pocket screws in the area in which these screws are located, I'll be fine. So I'm going to go 1/2 inch below, 1/2 inch above, and then 1/2 inch below the center. So I still get 3 screws in this sideboard. I went 1 inch, center, and 1 inch up. So 1 inch down, 1 inch up, and center. That way I know where those screws are at on this board, and I don't put my pocket screws in those locations. We're going to screw these screws in tight, and then we'll show you the pocket jig operation. So when I tell you guys Kreg joiner, Kreg, whatever the company's name is, also marks 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1.5 inches, and there's a circle around them, and these are actually board thicknesses. So I'm using 3/4 inch, so you slide this down, and again, I did not read the instructions. I'm just putting this together in my own mind because the circles are the exact same size. So you line that up on the circle, and you snug it down. When I say line it up on the circle, you literally can see the black line all the way around. So then you cinch that down, then you use the other side, tighten her up really good. They gave you the ability to chuck it in an impact or a drill, so I've got it chucked into my impact. And I told you all earlier on the board that's already mounted to the island, I'm 1 inch off the edge, up and down, and I'm right in the center. So this hole to this hole, hopefully you guys can see that. I'm measuring, there's marks on the actual piece, and they can't see it. Riley's here helping now too. You can't see the marks, but I'll show you the marks. So you guys can see the mark of that center hole and the mark of that center hole. That is 1 3/4 inches. And so I'm gonna line it up on the edge of the board, and that'll make sure I'm 3/4 over from the center of the other screw hole. And we'll do the same thing on this side. And then I went 3/4 with that mark, and I can eyeball that mark in the center of this hole before I clamp it down. So let's get some holes drilled and see how this works. Pretty confident it's going to work extremely well. Hole number 1, unclamp. Oh no! Probably should have put that not so close to the edge. Lining up with the right mark now, making sure my board is nice and flat. Clamp it down, 2 inches or 1 3/4 inches over. Now we know for a fact, and we can confirm this, is 1.5 inches, which will put us 1/2 inch off of center from our other screws, and we won't hit them. Now all I got to do is screw the center one. Now I'm going to use this center hole. Now we have our 3 pocket screws offset from our screws in our other piece. Now all we have to do is do that 3, 6, 9 more times.
Back
All right, Riley's going to drill this hole.
Back hole what?
So you got that first.
Scary.
Why is it scary? Give her heck. And your battery's going to hit there.
Trying to cheat, man.
All right. Now, she drilled those holes. You probably what? Now let's get our, so 3 3/4. I measured from this side, 3 3/4, so I want to make sure I measure from the same side.
We should have made that a phone page
Yeah.
or something.
That would be so
There you
I'm
go.
gonna mark it in a few spots up through there.
Slide there.
Yeah, something. Yeah, you got
One of those hopefully will be close to that, and then you just put your line.
Well, not
So we need a line
Oh,
somewhere right in there. 3 3/4. I eyeballed mine, but I'll show you how to do it the right way. So now we want to use this hole because that line, we can use any of them really. I just use the middle one. You just put the line on the line. Now drill it. Oh wait, you do it. Ha ha ha.
Why are you so mean?
So mean. I just taught you, now let's see if you listen to the instructions. Make sure you're good and square, remember?
Or back.
Clamp sends it all the way back. So this is to make sure you're not cropping. You gotta push hard, Riley. Like you're hitting a volleyball. That looks good. Now you want to drill the hole that's in line with your line.
So this one.
No. See, she gets a lot from her dad. All right, unclamp it.
When they were changing the tires for him,
In case.
Now,
changing the tires,
you were just taught. Do it all over
Yeah, you
again.
don't have to yell at me.
Do it all over again. I'm not yelling.
No,
Reese's
I
just
had a
talking
first
loud.
hole to go.
it's like,
You had a first hole to go off of. Well, you know how you set your edges, right? You got this.
I don't know.
She's got this.
Can you get that camera off?
his whole
No.
turbo blew up.
Make you nervous? Does it make you nervous when someone's looking over your shoulder?
Because,
No, it
All
makes me
right,
nervous.
you got this. Reese.
No, I need your phone. I want to show him your turbo and air filter.
Oh, my broken truck.
It's done for.
Wow, we
Well,
got
it's not
this.
done for. They're fixing it right now.
Yeah. Probably just because it's just shit.
Just so everybody knows.
What if I mess this up?
Then you get to fix it.
How? It's the opposite hole, right? Dad.
Yes, you're correct. So you got those pictures and then a couple more below it.
Alright.
I don't care if you guys talk. Just, you know. Did you get it?
I think.
Yeah, that looks good.
What? You mean?
Blow off your sawdust. I can see it. Cast a big old shadow right on your line. It'd be a little better if we didn't block our light, wouldn't it? No, it's not.
That just means you get to put a bigger turbo back in.
There, is that good?
For that size.
Mhm.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'd have to change all that too. It ain't worth that.
Yeah.
Hey, Tristan's here, I think.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Him in case you're here.
Yep.
Okay, I don't know what this is, but. Oh, here's the video.
Okay. Now, you remember the dimension I told you?
3/4.
3
And 3/4.
3/4.
Huh.
Now, remember, if you bottom it out and you put your clamp and draw your horizontal line, you know where to put your 3 3/4 mark because it'll line up with the line that you're utilizing, right? See how light that is? Make them where you can see them.
I see it.
All right, you guys got her. I'm gonna do something else.
Hey,
Hey, what?
I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, you do.
You just learned twice.
That's right. Maybe 3 times there then. What are you
No,
looking-
this.
What are you looking over here for?
No.
Oh, you don't know how to read a tape measure?
I know how.
Huh? What? It's okay. You got this. Don't be nervous just because the camera's on. You know how to read a tape measure. 3 inches and 3/4. Yeah. See, I didn't even know. This one? Yes, that one. You are correct. No reason.
Wait,
to
now I
be-
don't remember which line I said.
Well, it's gonna be the one. Yeah. See, you got it. Howdy, howdy.
Nice place.
Thanks.
And Reese. Can you give us a tour?
Sure.
We'll get you a tour going here in a second.
No, I got it.
Reese, we'll give everybody a tour, so it's a one-shot deal. I don't care if you do it, but we'll all go. We gotta let Riley get done filming her drilling.
Dad, you can turn the camera off.
No, I cannot. You just keep going over.
Dad, my soldiers. I'm not hoodie. I love to do
Got more helpers to carry doors?
Yeah.
This one looks off.
What?
It looks off to me.
It's going to be off-center. You intentionally put it off-center, so just flip it over and do your other side.
No, look. These look like different gaps.
They're not.
See that?
It's an optical contusion. Drill your other 3 holes.
I don't think your process is right.
I'm 100% confident in my process.
Wait, I think we got a little real sword in here.
Really?
Well, they used to be over there, but I don't know if they're still there. Right there. There's a fire pit there. Who wants a free pin? No, wait, we're going this one. I'm not getting. My dad said. Oh. Oh. No. Just even.
How goes it?
Here, let me go around.
Look at you. You don't need me over there at all, do you? I need your board though whenever you're done.
Show you the colors. I got
Waiting on you, Riley.
only green left in that.
Good work takes time.
Quality work takes time.
Wait.
You want the black one?
3 3/4.
In case I can write on anything.
Oh, yeah.
Correctamundo.
And then
Yeah, I put a little mark on the tape measure.
Oh, you cheated.
then you gotta take off the cap.
Not really. I can't really see very well.
Now the guy behind you, you're holding up the assembly line. So now the guy behind you's going, come on, give me some parts, let's go, right?
I really don't care.
That's what happens when you work on an assembly line.
You want the green?
Some people say, dime holding up
You
$1.
want the black?
That sucks, doesn't it? You do it yourself.
You gotta take off the cap. Just saying. You ready? Come here.
You in the right hole? You lined up right? Have confidence in yourself? One more. Oh, you got them all. All right, look at that. Riley got the remaining holes drilled. Now all we got to do is put it together. So Riley's board is the one we're going to screw on next. I've already screwed this one on. Now we'll show you guys. We got to lift it up and align it. So we're flush here, and you see we're off a little there. This board is a slight bit wider than these boards. To ensure if I need to cover the front of the sink, this board's got a lead edge that I can kind of bump against. So we got to flush it up at the top. You can see her pocket holes. We're going to put our pocket screws in there. You ready for the hardest part?
Yeah, that's not even
Mine.
close.
Here's
Too much
that.
hangover.
You ready for the hardest part? This is the hard part, Riley. We got to hold it up there just perfectly. And put our screws in it. So we need, yeah, holding the screws is the easy part. We need 6 screws. What we're going to do, Riley, is we're going to put one in the top, one in the top. and then it'll hold it for us for the remaining.
Pretty good center.
You're good center? Alright, bet.
So I'm pretty sure we can do it like this.
We're gonna do a shot.
I'm gonna do the drills.
Hey, I left my drill over there.
Yeah.
You're gonna make sure it's lined
This
up
one?
perfectly. Yes. You come to this side on the left. You're gonna make sure it's lined up perfectly.
Put your hands up.
And I'm gonna
I'm
keep
used
the
to going on hands,
pressure
that's
on
not
it
bad.
and put the screw in. Is it
Damn.
guaranteed flush on top, guaranteed flush on the side?
I have to say
You can use
go.
your eyeballs, not just your fingers. You good?
Damn, perfect.
Wait,
Now that it's gonna hold itself now. Now come over here and line it up.
Bet. Damn. Ready up? Oh, crap, hold it.
So if the top is and the bottom's not, the board's got a little bit of curl to it. So we want to get this one in and then we'll push that one over.
Down. Ready
Okay?
up?
Like it? Like it right there? Okay. Now when we go to do the bottom screw, let's do it first. You're gonna push in on it
Jump.
until it's flush. Come on now, Tuffy.
put it up there a little bit.
Okay, drill the hole.
You gotta say go for me to know that you're
You
ready.
gotta actually like catch it with your hands.
Now we'll put our middle screw in.
Here. Ooh. Let's see if I can do one
Put the
hand.
top one. Where's the
You
bottom
wanna
one?
see? Oh, dang it. I forgot to get my gloves. But it's fine. No.
All right, there it is attached.
No, I
We
drilled
need
this
3
one.
people.
Do not put pressure down on it yet. So a lot of you might be asking,
Alright, I'll go this way.
oh my gosh, you're going to expect that to hold the sink? I am. However, we're also going to put a triangle in here that pocket screws into this and adds support to this because water weighs 8.35 pounds per gallon, I believe is the number. And I think that sink will hold 20 gallons of water. So we have to be able to hold, let's just simplify it and say 180 pounds.
Okay.
Close enough. Call it 200 pounds. Pretty sure 3 screws aren't going to hold 200 pounds without some type of a support leg. So that's what we're going to figure out next. We're going to make sure our sink fits. And then we're going to figure out how we want to support it.
Did you
Riley's going to do all this engineering.
follow in like this?
Well, Reese, sometimes you win them and sometimes you lose them. Right?
Yeah.
I had a really good design, a really good plan, but I did not think when I build my frame to slightly larger than my sink internal dimension, and I make it a 32nd shy of the external dimension, but yet I want a ½ inch to tuck underneath of that ledge so I can seal the sink to that vertical. Well, it doesn't fit. So I take the sink out, which I planned on doing it back, take it back out anyway. And instead of using pocket screws on the inside here, I'm going to have to screw this one through the face so I can slide the sink straight in. Unfortunately, Reese, I got to have some screws there.
Okay.
We're going to have to see them. I was really wanting to hide my fasteners because you can't see them anywhere.
We're gonna have to find the perfect screw for it too.
I have the screws
Okay.
for now. We're going to use these Craig screws because they've got the bigger heads on them, but I'm probably going to paint them black with some fingernail polish or something because the finish of this is going to be burnt because that's pine and that's pine, so it'll look good. Let me get her apart, put her back together, and show you guys what we got. Well, if Riley walks around there, you guys can see the support we put on the left-hand side because this is essentially cantilevered. I went to the 3/4 point of the full length. 3/4 of that length is that point right there, which is the proper support for a cantilever. We've got pocket screws up and in, over and in, and then we've got a little bitty triangle filler right there that I've got to screw down yet, but I got to take the sink back out to get that filler in there. So I've got one screw in this one. Just wanted to show you guys how these pocket screws are going into all of this. Just like every other pocket screw went in. Make sure we're lined up. Snug her up. What'd you do with them, Riley? Oh, you put them over here on me, did you? That's got all of this screwed off now. Now I gotta make sure that this is centered properly. And then we'll get our pocket screws in here. And then I will show you guys how the cabinets or cabinet doors are still gonna work. These, I believe here in the middle, are gonna end up needing to be notched for the drain, because I don't think the drain will be able to stay this high. But as you can see, the doors open up all the way properly. Grab this handle, that door opens up. Show them that handle there, Riley. So the cabinets are still usable. The sink is supported properly. Now what we gotta do is get another little triangle cut here. Here, we've got that triangle cut. We just gotta get the sink back out and screw that one off. Get this triangle cut and get it screwed off, and then we'll burn all this on the outside to make it look pretty and put everything back together. So I'm gonna start by saying, don't try this at home. I'm gonna burn it in place right here. We're gonna be here for a little while yet tonight, and it's not gonna take that much to burn it, but it's gonna stink in here, just so you know, Riley. It's a big flame. Ta-da! All right, so Riley reminded me we needed to burn the faceboard too. So now it's burnt. We're gonna put it back on, and then the only thing we'll have left to do is clear coat, which will probably happen another day. Fingers in there. That was stupid.
Idiot.
Idiot. Square bits can be awesome, and square bits can be a pain sometimes. I think that burn looks pretty good with that black sink. What do you guys think?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I could stand in that sink, I think. Well, all right, now all we have left to do is clear coat everything to get it nice and protected in case water comes off of this edge. But that will be the sink. Got it nice and supported. That will definitely support 200 pounds. I'm pretty sure that was, I think the island would fall over before it doesn't support 200 pounds.
Please don't get in it.
You want to get in the sink?
Yeah.
Call up there.
Well, I can't.
Just act like you're sitting on that edge. What do you weigh? 105, maybe?
8. I'm scared.
Go for it.
Can you help me? Help me.
Well, if you're gonna do it, do it. So you're $1.05?
I didn't even
I know. Nothing moved. How much do you weigh?
That thing's starting to tilt.
Well, I mean, it's cantilevered over, so how much do you weigh, honestly?
100.
I know you're not supposed to ask a woman how much they weigh, but you're my daughter. 108. It'll hold 108. We know that for sure. Well, that's the end of tonight's video. As you guys can see, the sun basically has sat. Oh, it's not quite sat all the way. come out here and get you guys a good view of the sunset. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, like, comment, subscribe, turn those notifications on, and don't forget to share away.